I think that we are live here. Welcome to Tamarah's Closet. And I'm really excited today because I think this is the youngest guest so far in Tamarah's Closet today. And this is really truly an honor for me to have this man here because he's just been such an inspiration in the short time that I've had to get to know him. And he's live here today from, I believe it's Syracuse, New York. And he is an R&B influenced singer-songwriter. He actually became interested in recording when he was 15 years old. And he started teaching himself how to play different musical instruments, as well as write his own songs. And I actually found him on one of my social media sites, and I just started listening to his music on Soundcloud, and I absolutely fell in love with his beautiful voice and his passion to go after his dream. So I just sent him a message and asked him if he would be a guest on my show, and of course here he is today. He said he would, and here we are. So today it's just my pleasure to introduce to you Josiah Leon. So Josiah, say hello so that we know you're out there.
Hey everyone.
And he's actually going to sing for us a little bit later, so I'm really excited about that too. So Josiah, I know we were going to keep it a little bit shorter than usual, so I just was going to get right into talking to you today. And one thing that I really thought was amazing when I read your bio was how truly blessed you really are in the fact that you've had so much support from your family and your friends, and you said your teachers, and in your passion for music. And that's really not always the case for people who have big dreams, and especially in the entertainment world. In fact, people, we all have good intentions, but sometimes big dreamers don't get the best of support from family and friends, and I think it's just because they think, well, they don't want to see us get hurt, and to me it just takes a lot of courage to step out and go after your dreams. And I know that you started taking the interest in recording, pretty young. So how old were you when you really first realized that you had a passion for music, and why do you think your family has been so supportive?
A lot of my passion for music started when I remember the first time I ever heard the quartet of instruments play at my elementary school, and I knew that I wanted to learn how to do that, because it was so cool to me. I was just amazed at the sound that they could produce. So right off from 3rd grade, I started playing the violin. And that's really when my passion for music began to grow from there. And all the support, I think the biggest reason I have so much support is because of how my parents grew up. They grew up not having a lot. They both had very difficult life, and they didn't ever get support for hardly. Maybe every now and then, but when they were kids, they just didn't get a lot of support. And they wanted to do the opposite of that for their family. So they wanted to support us in anything that we love to do. So I think a huge amount of that support comes from my parents and my sisters as well.
That's great. Now, did you grow up in New York?
Yes. Yep.
You did. So is most of your family still there?
Most of them. Yep.
Most of them. That's great. Okay. Well, now you said you played the violin, and was it 3rd grade?
Yep, 3rd grade.
That's a pretty tough instrument, I think.
Yep, it is.
And you had started teaching yourself to play different instruments. That was the first instrument you played. What other instruments have you learned besides?
Yeah, I learned I think I first started teaching myself how to play the piano on a little tiny toy keyboard that my grandparent gave to me. I would just mess around with that for a while. So it was just me trying to figure out what notes sounded good together. I And then I started getting into the guitar when someone very generously gave this as a gift. And um, some drums, I wouldn't really say I know how to play drums that well, but mostly the piano and the guitar, I don't know how to really technically play them, but I play everything by ear, basically.
Really?
You know,
Did you play the piano when you were that young in third grade, or did you start playing that then, or?
um, I think that was a couple of years after that when I got the little toy keyboard, and that's when I kind of started everything with the piano.
Right. So you said you were self-taught. Did you have formal lessons at any point on any of the instruments, or?
No, I didn't have any formal lessons for the guitar or the piano. The only formal lessons I ever got in music was my violin. So I played that from third grade to high school, and I had some vocal lessons in high school when I really started getting into singing.
Now, what got you into singing? Was that in school as well?
Yeah, that was more towards high school. A lot of my friends kind of said, you know, you can sing in tune, you've got a pretty good voice, and they kind of pushed me into joining chorus my last 2 years of high school, and then I got into the plays and the musicals there, and that gave me a lot of experience, and I think it was just a lot of support from my friends at school that kind of pushed me into it, but I still gained a passion from that, so.
Yeah. Well, so what about your family? Is there someone in your family that you got this talent from? Did your parents sing, or did they play instruments, or?
Yeah, my mother, she did a lot of singing at weddings and ceremonies for a very long time, a while ago, but she slowly kind of let that go. She wasn't really passionate towards it, but she still loved to do it. My father, he's pretty good at playing the guitar, and my sister Kayla, when she's not joking around, she has a pretty good voice. And my sister Aubrey, she's the one that would sing in the shower, and she would sing everywhere in the house all the time. So yeah, I would say we're pretty musically gifted as a family.
Oh, yeah, you're really blessed for that.
Yeah.
Now, what other? Because I'm finding a lot of people that I interview, like they have their talent that they're on the interview for, but they tend to have these other like passions. Like, are you also an artist or anything, or is it pretty much? Are you mostly musically inclined?
That's a good question. I like to draw occasionally, and I also got into 3D graphics for a while, and I do videography for all my home videos. I do all the editing, all the shots, and because I was into that for a really long time, and I slowly started learning how to use the editing programs and 3D tracking and stuff like that. So yeah, I do other things other than, not as much, but some other things, other than music.
Right. Now, I read in your bio that you pretty much you work your own money is supporting this your dream. You know, going after your dream, and that you're working in retail, and then the rest of the time you're putting all your time into your dream. How does that fit in your circle of peers? Did they, because you said they're supportive, do you have time to do other things, or are you really just laser focused on your dream pretty much? If you're not working, you're doing your music.
I mean, I like to just focus on music, so I don't like to do a lot of other things. Recently, I've been doing live performances at this little place called continual for the past 2 weeks. I do it every other week, but mostly it's just been music, like work, and then come home and if I don't have energy for music or I don't have inspiration, I'll listen to music or try and find inspiration that way. But yeah, pretty much all my focus has been solely on music.
Well, that's great. Now, tell me about this picture here. Can you see this?
Yeah.
Were you on your way to that? What was it called? Funk and Waffle?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, that's a club?
It's like a Waffle House, and they also have a little stage, and they do open mic night on Wednesday, and that's when I go.
Oh, that's really neat because I saw that on your Facebook page. You had put some pictures, and were you on your way there? Is that what this picture was about?
Yeah, yeah.
I like that. I like that.
With my
And
massive keyboard.
so that was really neat. So that's somewhere where you can just go. Do you have to have it like a set appointment for that, or is it just whoever shows up? Or
Yeah, and quite a few people go on the Wednesday night. It's whoever shows up, and you have to sign up real quick, and whoever's in that order, that's the way they go. And it's probably around 10 to 15 other people that go up there and do something, either comedy or music or originals or covers.
okay, but tell me, because I know that you've written some of your own songs, and I find that fascinating because I think that that's something that I've always. I don't know. I don't even know how you come about to write a song. How did you come to start writing songs? Did you write them? Are they from experiences in your life, or did the words just sort of come from a certain type of inspiration, something that you've been through?
I think most of my songwriting, I used to write a lot of poetry earlier, and that kind of led me into learning how to write my own music. I would kind of research how to write music. There's a verse 1, verse 2, bridge, chorus, and then it repeats with the different verses. And as soon as I learned that format, it kind of like embedded into my head. And from there, I just ever since I began learning how to do that, it's just second nature. Like when I go to write a song, it's different every time. I'll think about a certain memory or a certain experience, and I'll gain inspiration from that. So a lot of my material is from personal experience. Or I'll just pluck out a couple notes or chords, hum something. Sometimes the words will just be there all of a sudden, and a lot of the times it'll just come from out of nowhere. Like, it's hard to explain because it's so different every time. One of my songs, Feel What It Feels Like, actually came from a dream, which was interesting because that's never happened before. I remember waking up and I could still hear the song in my head, so I found the chords, and the song isn't exactly like it, but it's very, very similar to what I heard in that dream. And so that's just like, shows you there's really no one way that I go about writing music. It's different every time.
Wow. That I've often wondered if people, songwriters, if some of their influence comes from dreams. Because I know lots of times I keep a notepad near my bed sometimes when I have ideas in the middle of the night when I can't sleep, something that I want to do or create. And so that's interesting that you have actually had a dream about something like that. Now, when that happens, when you write a song, let's say, does typically the tune come first, or the words, or are you just like with other songs? You ever find yourself just humming, and all of a sudden you go, oh, I like what I'm humming, and so you sit down and maybe start playing with what you've been humming in your head, or?
I actually, it's hard to, because I never analyze how I write music, but I know that I never really ever hum anything. I I usually start off with notes, whether it be from the guitar or my piano, and then usually, I mean, sometimes I write songs in 2 hours, which is very, very quick, and a little rare. I mean, it's been happening more often since I do this more often. It's just kind of falls out in my mouth sometimes. But yeah, I never really hum anything. Which is, I know some people do. They hear something in their head. The dream is as close as that gets to humming, because I heard it in my head. But yeah.
Yeah. So you actually heard the tune in your head in the dream before you actually
Yeah.
heard, and then kind of come up with the words or whatever. So did you have a when you said when you started in third grade, what and started getting interested in music, was there a mentor that you followed at that time, or maybe as you got a little bit older, what was because I know your influence is an R&B, but what about, has it always been that, or?
I remember being dead set against listening to other artists for a very, very long time, which isn't always the best idea, but I thought it was for for a couple of years. So honestly, I can't say that I've tried modeling myself after anyone in particular, or following or gaining inspiration from anyone, because I remember for a couple of years I just wanted to focus on what I wanted to sound like and who I wanted to be, instead of, going by something else or someone else. I mean, now I have certain inspirations, but it's all over the music industry. I mean, I listen to almost everything, except for a few things here and there.
Yeah. Well, I know you had recorded, and I wanted to tell everyone, you had recorded a song called You, and you uploaded it, I believe you did that in January 2014, and you uploaded the video onto YouTube. Tell us about that, because that was a pretty big deal. You got a lot of views from that, like over 100,000.
Yeah, it's very surprising, actually. I just thought it was a simple, like, pop ballad, I would say. And the reason I think that got such a huge response from people is because it's really broad. Like, almost anyone can relate to that. It's kind of like a feeling. Like, when you feel sad, everyone's felt sad at some point in their life. And I think that's what the song really resonates, is an experience where you're facing rejection, um, and it makes you feel like depressed or sad. And I think, anyone, no matter where they are in life, has gone through something that has made them feel that way. And I think that's why the song had such a huge response. I don't really know how else it would. I can't explain it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I thought it was crazy.
It's great. I think it's over 120 some thousand views, because I was listening to it again yesterday, and it's actually a beautiful song.
Thank you.
And I don't know. I think you're right. It must just be that everyone's had a moment in their life where they obviously had sadness, so it'd be an easy song to relate to. Did you write that from actual experience at the time that you wrote it, or?
Yeah, it is from actual experience. I won't go into depth, or I won't go into detail about it, but yeah, it was.
Okay. Well, I think this would be a good time for you to sing a song, and I don't know what you're going to sing for us, so you can surprise you. And if you want to tell us a little bit about the song you're going to sing, that'd be great.
Yeah, this is actually one I performed Wednesday night at the Ruffles, and it's called Why. The song, I think the inspiration from the song came from some of my experiences, but I want to also broaden the aspect of the song so others can relate to it. But yeah, hopefully I have it on the capo on the right spot. I don't want to sing too high here. But, alright, here we go. I just have to make sure it's in tune with it.
Alright, that's
I'm just gonna take these off real quick.
All right.
All right, this is called Why. It was too soon, it was too late. Black night, red lights beating far away. You say go there and say yes. So my heart is empty and I got nothing to say. But why you gonna mess with my head? 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 Tell me yes or no, no in between. You barely talking when you do, I don't know what you mean. You got me spinning around, thinking what did I do? Maybe I was too late, maybe it was too soon. Oh, but why you gonna mess with my head? 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 That's it.
That was great. I love that song. I've been actually posting that on social media a lot, and you know, I really like that one a lot. And I like you, so I encourage anybody who's watching to make sure that you check out. Actually, Josiah is on SoundCloud, so if you go to soundcloud.com/Josiah Leon, you can actually hear a lot of his music there, and it's really great. Now you must like. I noticed you did a couple of songs of Maroon 5, so you must like. You must have some groups that you kind of follow a little bit.
Yeah, it's usually like if I hear a song and I like the direction that they took it, I'll try my best to cover it. But yeah, they're not always leaning towards that direction, but I have liked a lot of Maroon 5's songs. They just have a very different sound. But yeah, I like that song, especially Sugar by Maroon 5.
Yeah, I do too. I like that. So I know, we talked about this a little bit about you are R&B influenced, but what do you see? Do you think, how do you see yourself moving forward with your music today and in the future?
I definitely want to finish enough songs. I just have 2 more to go. I want to finish enough songs to create my first ever indie album, and I want to independently release it online. That's probably like my biggest goal right now, is to getting enough content for a CD for my album.
Now, how does, if someone wants to do what you do, and how do they go about getting started? Tell us a little bit about how you actually start, because I think I know I actually have had people that I know here where I live who they're good singers and they like to sing and they'd like to, but they really don't know what to do. And how does someone get started in that, like actually making a CD?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I know I've ran across a couple of people that had no idea, like you said, how to even start. And a lot of it is time and dedication are probably the biggest things that you could tell those people. Dedication, as in picking up an instrument and just playing it and learning it inside and out, day in, day out, making sure you know that instrument so that you can start creating content on that instrument. And it could be the piano, it could be ukulele, it could be a guitar, anything. And if you want to get to releasing your own CD, a lot of people don't know how to record their own content. They don't know how to edit. Um, so sometimes people save up enough money to have a studio record a song that they play on their instrument, or you can download. I'm trying to think of the first software that I ever used for music. I think GarageBand for Macs, and for Windows, um, what was it? There is a free program. I can't think of it off the top of my head that I used to use, and you can get pretty good results out of it. Um, but if you look it up, like best recording software for Windows in Google, it usually pops up. So, start learning how to record. This Audio Technica microphone was around $99. So not horribly expensive. And I have a mixer over there that was around the same, it was around $100. A computer that is at least 2.6 gigahertz in processing speed. Just like you just have to save up money and really do your homework. Google, I cannot tell you how Google has helped me out so much. I have done searches and done so much research and so much practice in recording, editing. Dedication and time is just the biggest advice I can give to people. Is just trying to really hone in on what you want to sound like, and if you're interested in doing your own recording, picking up free software and starting from there, and a cheap microphone, and you can pretty much do anything.
Wow. So you just you just learned all this really just from Googling online and learning it to do and buying the equipment so that you could do it yourself. So what is it? How does someone go and actually make the CD from there? I know I hear about this CD Baby. I really don't know what it is, but
I use a website called tunecore.com, and what they do is they help you get your music onto different websites like iTunes, like music distributing websites, Amazon, major, I think pretty much every music store out there that's online. And what you have to pay to put those onto the stores. And they also give you an album option. If you have enough songs for an album, you can put an album in. You got to pay for it and then send it to however many stores you want to send it to. I usually only send it to iTunes, but for my album, I definitely want to branch out and send it to more. So yeah, tunecore.com will definitely get you going in the right direction if you want to sell your own music online and you're looking for releasing an album.
right. Now, because you live in New York, I mean, there must be a ton, I mean, just a gazillion clubs there. I mean, the nightlife there just kind of never ends. So do you find that with today, the internet, that more people are getting exposure from the internet as opposed to going around to different clubs and singing? Or what are your thoughts on that? Because I know you're making your own YouTube videos, and I see a lot of people are doing that. Do you still try to get to get into clubs to sing? I know, or is it just easier to do it on the internet?
That's kind of funny because I don't really live I live kind of far away from New York City, like 4 or 5 hours. And I live in the middle of nowhere, so there are no clubs. I live in the country. I wish there were, but there are not. Yeah, so a lot of my stuff is focused on the internet because you can go to places on the internet that you would not be able to go to if you're traveling to New York City to play at a certain club and hoping an A&R representative is going to be there. And maybe there will be, maybe there won't. Maybe your performance is awful and they just won't even approach you. And with the internet, you can present your best self and gain experience. And I mean, I reach out to all corners of the internet, and I've gotten some pretty amazing connections just from trying different things. You have to be careful, I will say that, because there are a lot of scams out there on the internet. But yeah, I did most everything through YouTube and SoundCloud. SoundCloud was for a couple of people, and as long as you're producing content that is good enough, you can get places. It all depends on your dedication, your work ethic towards what you're trying to do.
Right. So you don't actually go. You don't really go in. You don't go into New York City to try to do anything there. You just pretty much stay where you are, close to home, and
yeah,
do most of it on the internet. Okay. I didn't know if you accessed that at all since you were. But if that's still a good ways away. But
yeah.
So, but you know, the internet has given people. It's an amazing opportunity that we never had in the past, and I think it's actually pretty powerful today. And I've talked a lot about that in blog articles I've written, how it's really changed the world, and now you can get so much more exposure.
Yeah.
And then years past where we didn't have the internet, it was much harder to get yourself out there.
Oh, yeah. No, it's interesting because I think the internet has made it more about the people and less about the people who were chosen by one person. Like, if you see some people on YouTube, they've worked decades and years to get their music out there, and they've gained a fan base, and the fan base is the people choosing to listen to that one person. It's not because they were picked up by an A&R. It's not because some higher-up person thought they were amazing and decided to put them onto their record. A lot of it's becoming, I think the power of the internet is behind the fact that people have the ability to group together and really bring things to the world, I think.
That's a great way of looking at it. It really is, though. I think it's totally changing how we do things today, for sure.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that you're getting out there and that you have the courage to do that, because I think if more people would do that, they could realize that they have an opportunity to actually achieve their dreams where in years past it would have been much more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and now it's easier, I mean, to get yourself out there, I think. So, but now I know you don't have a mentor, but there's not any particular person that I don't know, usually someone has a go-to person that when you want advice, or I don't know, someone just to mentor after. Is there anyone that you?
Oh, someone that I know personally?
Yeah, like someone that's, when you have, I don't know, whenever we're going after our dreams, sometimes we look for someone who's done what we want to do, and we sort of mentor after them. If that's your go-to person to ask questions, or just kind of do as they do, or whatever, that just sort of, not really, almost like a coach, but more of a mentor than actually coaching.
I don't really think I ever really had anyone like that. I mean, my parents always try their best whenever I have a question about something, but it's usually something that I'm very iffy about, like a legal thing, or should I post this up, or stuff like that, but not ever really anything about my music or my career path. It's all been everything that I've either watched on or heard through a streaming service, or I guess my mentor is just when I have inspiration, I'm looking at different artists, or I don't know. I've never really had like a particular person that I went to.
Well, you're definitely a self-starter, and I think that's a lot of it. You're very motivated, and you just from everything you said today, you just when you know want to do something, you research it and
Hmm.
pretty much do it yourself.
One
And
step at a time. Yep.
yeah, so I mean, to me, that's what's you because you are still very young, and in order to have the just the drive to even do that is pretty amazing, and I think it's really going to be benefit you down the road. I mean, it's benefiting you now, but it really is going to impact you later because you are just a self-starter, and that's pretty impressive, I think.
Thank
So,
you. Yeah, I will say it's not easy. I To those people who are trying to do what I'm doing, you'll have times where you have absolutely no inspiration to learn or do anything, just because of maybe someone said something, or maybe you just are in a point in your life where everything's frustrating you. And at that point, the best thing to do is just take a step back and maybe take a week off from it. Um, and I think the best thing to do is the best advice is like take it one step at a time, or you're going to overwhelm yourself and not think you're good enough. 2 years ago, I was horrible, or at least I thought I was horrible. And no matter if you love what you're doing, you'll only get better and better. You just have to give it time. And I wouldn't consider myself as good as I am now than I was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I would be like, oh, who is that? You know, you improve in time, and you just have to, let yourself be patient with yourself and just keep going.
well, I think that's good advice. Now you're good at the video. You're good at figuring things out and doing your own video editing. Are you wanting? Are we going to see you doing more with your video editing? Like actually make a I don't even know the word I'm looking for, but more of a music video with other people in the video, I guess, or
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm gonna try my best to come up with some kind of concept for my song "Fade Away," because that has gotten a huge response on SoundCloud, and I think it's just because it sounds very modern and very pop influenced.
uh-huh.
And I think that's what people are into right now. So I'm gonna try my best to really map out a music video for that, and those usually take me. I'd say I'd like to take at least a month on that, just to get the artistic vision out there just right and get the right ideas, and then maybe have a couple other people in the video. But yeah, yep, I'm gonna try and start a music video for at least that song.
Yeah, that's so. Uh, are you good at video? Videography. Like, are you a photographer as well?
Yeah. I
You would.
wouldn't really say I'm a photographer, but whenever I have the urge to take photos, like it's really relaxing for me. Like if I just go outside for a little while and I need a breather, I'll just go outside in my backyard and take some pictures, or um, just snap a couple pictures here and there. And especially for my video editing, um, I do a lot of my own videography, so I like to. I haven't done it yet, but I would like to create some sort of really cool artistic vision with one of my music videos.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of referring to. I think I can see you doing that, and since you're already seem to know a lot about the video editing anyway, I can see you moving toward that. And you're artistic. I can, I just pick that up on you just from everything you've done already. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you do with the song Fade Away, because I think that's actually a good choice
Mm,
to
thank you.
for your first big project, video project.
Hmm.
I think It'd be a pretty good song to do that with. So I'm anxious to see what your ideas are. But so, is there anything else that you're planning on doing with taking your dream to the next level? You know, with I know you're wanting to make your own CD.
Hmm.
Is there any other plans that you got in the works, or?
I am enrolled in a program at a community college that's going to give me an associate's in I can't remember the specific title because every title is so different. Depends on the college, but it's more towards it's an associate to kind of bridge between a college. Like when I transfer over to a college, I'll go right into recording arts or audio radio engineering. Um, but I want to get into that because I've done it for so many years, and at the same time, I want to still pursue my dream. I'm becoming an independent artist.
Yeah. Well, I know you're going to do well, Josiah, because you've got a beautiful voice, and you're very talented, and I'm really impressed with the songs that you've written and just what you've done just on your own. I mean, it's just such an inspiration, and I hope that you will continue to move forward, and I look forward to seeing and hearing everything that you are going to create next. What would be your next new song, I guess?
Yeah, well, there's one in the works, so maybe soon.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, was there anything else that you wanted to share with us today? Because I know we were going to cut it a little bit shorter, and I don't want to go over time. And was there another song you wanted to sing, or anything else you want to share with us today, Josiah?
Not a whole lot. I guess just stay tuned because I mean my music usually takes a couple of weeks like a song. It'll take a week to a month, depends on where it is in development and how much time I have. But and thank you for being so kind and awesome, and you were just so sweet, and I'm honored to have been on your show. It's incredible, and I hope you'll always continue to move forward with your dreams as well.
Oh, thank you. I definitely am, and I will have to have you back too, Josiah. I'm going to follow you, and I'll be doing a blog article on you over the next couple weeks, and so I will, for the viewers that are watching either it live or the replay, I'll have all the links that any information that you want me to have in there, I'll have, and also links in this video. And just continue to follow you, because I really do think you're really going to move forward with your career because you have so much passion. And like I said, you're so motivated. You're a self-starter, and I think that's a big part of it, is that you're not letting the fact that you might not know how to do something stop you from finding out how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's pretty amazing in itself. So I hate to end this today because I really enjoy listening to your music. But once again, I want to make sure everybody finds you on SoundCloud. It's just soundcloud.com / I hope they can see this, Josiah Leon. And then follow tamarahscloset.com for I'll have Josiah in my upcoming in the celebrity section of Celebrity Closet. So I want to thank you again, Josiah, for being here today. And I want to thank the viewers, whether they're seeing this live or the replay on YouTube. And stay tuned to my blog for more on Josiah, because I'm going to keep up with him. And make sure you follow him on SoundCloud, because he's got some really, really great music on there. And also make sure that when you do, that you share it on your social media sites and help me continue to celebrate his forward-moving career and his passion for music. And also, I'll have your Facebook page, the link to that too, in the blog and in the video, Josiah, so that they can find you on Facebook as well and follow you there. So stay tuned. And thanks again for tuning in today. And next week, actually, on Wednesday, April 8th, if you're a rock and roll lover, I have Sean Soho from the band Crash Midnight, so from Boston. So that should be fun for all the rock and rollers out there. And thanks again. Follow Tamarah's Closet, and we'll see you next week. And I'll see you in a minute, Josiah.
Okay.
I'll take us off air.